Good morning, Vicious Fae. Hi, this is Alana. It has been a while since we have had a chance to visit on Friday to do some stretching and yoga-inspired moves, and I am very excited to see you back here in 2021. I have been a little bit humbled in these last few months with an injury, I think related to overuse. So another great reason for adding yoga or stretching or relaxation into your fitness routines or your active lifestyles, making sure that we stretch and recover our bodies is just as important as working them out and fatiguing them and building our endurance in other ways. So I am still recovering, and so you will notice that I will be limited in my range of motion. I will encourage you to press to your point of comfort level today. We all have our own practice, and showing you that it's okay to be wherever you are today, because I am learning that each and every day here. So we are actually going to start on our backs. I am actually not in Wisconsin enjoying the cold with you right now, so I'm still adjusting my camera here. We're out of town for a little bit, so I'm going to adjust my camera, but please get on the floor, lying on your back. We're going to start there for some stretching, and we'll get moving. All right. All right, I think that you will be able to see me there. I'm gonna back up just a little bit and hope that I am on camera. All right, it looks like I am, so I'm gonna get started here. Hopefully you're on your back, joining me. I think if I can see myself, you should be able to see me as well. So we're gonna start just lying down on our back. And we're going to start by just pulling a knee in towards our chest. Now I want you to wrap your hands on the outside of your knee. If we pull here, we can strain, but this is going to get us that nice tight hug. And I want you to just focus on your breath. So starting to press the lower part of the back down into the floor. You can relax your feet. They don't need to flex. And then think about resisting against your hands. So pushing the front of that knee into your hands, but don't let your leg go anywhere. So feel that little resistance and then release. Let's do that again. So we're going to go ahead and push into our hands. Don't let the knee go anywhere. And then release. Good job. Let's go ahead and add the breath. So inhale as you pull in and exhale, release. Good. So you'll feel the tension, but your leg is barely moving. Let's do it one more time. Inhale as you pull in towards your body, and exhale, release. Good job. Let's gently let that leg come down away from your body and pull the opposite knee in. So again, we want the lower part of the spine down and towards the mat. Shoulder blades are spread out on the mat. And let's go ahead and pull the knee in, and then let it slightly release. Good job. Same thing, pull in, just with the breath. Good, let's add that little coordination there. So inhale as you pull in, nice big breath through the nose, and then exhale as you release. Let's do it 2 more times at your own pace. Go ahead and bring the feet in so that they're lying just in front of the hips. I want the soles of your feet down, and then we're going to extend the arms out wide so that they're in a nice T outside our shoulders. Upper body is going to stay down. And we're going to slowly relax the knees to the front of the room, but keeping the feet in place. Don't adjust your feet. So you're just going to come to the sides of those feet as the knees drop. Upper body stays still. We feel a little twist here, but you also might find a stretch along the IT band of that front leg. If you want a little deeper twist, go ahead and look away from your knees. So down that back arm. And then on the inhale, we're going to bring the knees to center, and we're going to let them drop to the back of the room. Good job. So same thing, shoulder blades stay down. Looking away from the knees to add that additional twist. Good, starting to wake up those ligaments and joints in our hips. And now we're just gonna go a little bit faster with the breath. So inhale to center, exhale, release to the front of the room. Inhale back to center, and exhale to the back of the room. Keeping those feet in place, don't let the feet adjust. Inhale through center, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Good, finding that mobility. Finding that breath this morning. Let's do one more to each side. And then let's bring the knees back to center. Great job. We're going to open up through the glute and the hip by taking the front leg and bringing your ankle to the back knee. I want you to flex that top foot and then push away at the knee to open up the hips. Your hips should be square to the ceiling. And then we're just going to open up through that hip. So maybe it's pressing away onto that knee. If you need a little bit more, we can always reach to our thigh and pull those knees a little bit closer to the rib cage. Keeping that top foot flexed, the bottom foot can stay relaxed. And maybe the breath starts to take you a little bit closer in this stretch. So just start to connect the breath with the movement. Every time you exhale, that allows the muscle to lengthen and allows you to bring that knee just a little bit closer to your rib cage. You can actually feel the lengthening and the relaxation with each breath. Go ahead and release that foot to the floor. Now, we're going to extend those arms again. And this time, we're going to drop the knees to the back of the room. So that front knee that's on top is going to come down towards the floor. So again, finding that twist. Maybe the sole of your foot can connect with the floor. Maybe it just comes close. But again, that little spinal twist by keeping the upper body down. To center. Good, we're going to do that all over again on the other side. So uncross your foot, let's come to the back leg. Again, flexing that ankle. And remember, every side of your body is different. So what you can do on one side this morning might not be what you can do on the other side, or maybe you can do more. So just honor that your body is going to talk to you and tell you what feels good. So pushing away on that knee. This is a choice right here. If you need another choice, you can bring those knees a little bit closer in towards your rib cage by grabbing around the back of your thigh. Try not to grab underneath your knee, but grab that thigh and bring the knees in closer. Remember, top foot flexed, that nice flex, and the bottom foot can just stay relaxed. A nice slow flow today, so just really enjoy that breath. Feel the softening of your muscles as you take the time just to breathe. Let's set that bottom foot down. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to bring the sole of the foot down toward the floor, but first we extend the arms. So go ahead and let those feet drop down toward the floor. Maybe you can touch, maybe not, but see if you can keep the shoulders down on the ground. That's going to increase that twisting and that spinal love. We really love that through our spine. You might feel a little bit like a pretzel right now. And then let's come back to center. We're gonna uncross our knee. This time we're gonna grab both knees, bringing them into our ribcage, giving yourself a beautiful hug. Inhale and exhale. And we're gonna roll onto all fours. So bringing your feet down, dropping your knees to one side. We're just gonna slowly come into a horse stance. So I want you to bring your knees underneath you. I'm gonna take my sweatshirt off so you can see me a little bit better. Hopefully you can see me on the floor here. Bring your hands down right underneath your shoulders and bring your knees right underneath your hip. And we're just gonna do a little bit of a cat-cow. So we're gonna go ahead and inhale the breath as we look up, tailbone lifts towards the ceiling, and then exhale, rounding our back up towards the sky. Inhale and exhale. Finding that spinal movement. One of the reasons that we do stretching in yoga is to really define that mobility in our body. It's what keeps us moving, keeps us going about our day here. Let's do one more big breath. And let's come back to a neutral spine. We're gonna come into our first downward dog. So go ahead and just push your feet back and see if you can lift your hips high into the air. We're gonna push into our palms, letting our fingers be somewhat soft, and then go ahead and just pedal those feet. Start to loosen into the back of those legs. Let those hamstrings come alive. Your calf muscles need a little stretching. Just find that flexibility in your ankles as well. Good. Now, we're gonna do a little rotation similar to our cat-cow, only this time we're gonna come from the down dog and we're gonna come into a plank. Now, if this isn't where you are today, you can come down to your knees and then come back into that little cow position. Otherwise, you can see if you can come into that full plank. We're just gonna use the breath to transition from the plank into the downward dog. So it's a nice big exhale on the downward dog. As we come forward, we inhale, bring our shoulders right over our wrists, nice strong core stability, and then exhale back to our downward facing dog. Let's do that again. Inhale forward, you can always just drop right here to the knees, and then exhale, either rounding the back or coming all the way back to our downward facing dog. Let's do it 2 more times. Inhale, and exhale. Last one for now. And exhale. Beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and bring our hands slightly towards the front of the mat because we're gonna step with our back leg as long as we can into a lunge, dropping the back knee, keeping that heel up towards the sky. Nice hip flexor stretch here again. Now, this is my comfort level today, staying on my hands, but as we work towards flexibility, you may be able to come closer to the floor. So if you want to, you can come down towards those forearms, but we're just gonna sit here in this stretch for about a minute. Feels like a long time. But keep your hips square, and then just focus on the stretch. Focus on the breath, taking you closer to the ground. Maybe you notice some places of tension or tightness. And as you follow the breath through your body, just bring the breath to that place and feel that tightness start to soften, start to fall away. About halfway there. Make sure you still have some strength in that back leg. Don't let go of that. We really want to feel the tension pushing us forward and backwards. So it's really stretching our bodies nice and long. Now in these last few moments, we're going to add a little twist as a choice. So the front hand stays planted, and then the back hand lifts up to the ceiling, stacking the shoulders. Keeping the hips dropped low, don't lift the hips.
And this is for your original product, your Karate Health prototype?
And then let's come back down to the floor, and we're gonna exhale all the way back into a downward facing dog. Beautiful job. Stretching those legs again, lifting the hips high, pedaling if you need to. And we're gonna come into the other side. So I'm gonna look to my hands, I'm gonna slightly shift my hands backward to make room for my foot, bring it all the way up, drop the back knee, keep that strong ankle, and then we're gonna do the exact same thing. So just like before, every side of our body is gonna cooperate a little bit differently depending on the time of day, the day of the week, what we've just done, or just what our body likes to do. So push it to the point of tension, but not to pain. So find that balance between finding a little bit of work and doing something that's gonna hurt us. So we can go ahead and come down to the mat a little bit closer. Sometimes people like to use a yoga block so that they can start to work towards getting toward the floor. A towel or a pillow is also just a great tool as we're working out from home. Remember, we're in this stretch for about a minute, so really try to enjoy it. Take your back hand, press it into the floor, and take the front hand, and we're going to find that little twist. So lengthening from the fingertips to the ceiling, through the palm and the floor, opening your chest. What a great way to say good morning on a Friday. Let's come back down. And we're gonna release into our down dog. So take that knee off the ground, push back into our toes, hips come high. Beautiful downward dog, yes. All right, it would not be a great morning unless we did a quick sun salutation. So we're gonna do just a little flow here. We practiced earlier from our down dog to our plank. So we're gonna go back to that move, and we'll just lower to the floor and add our little up dog or our cobra. So let's go ahead and find the breath. And you can follow my pace, or you can always go slower or faster depending on where you are today. But we're gonna do just about 6 rounds of work, staying here on the floor in our little mini sun sal. So let's go ahead and roll forward with an inhale. Knees can drop to the floor. We go ahead and exhale down to the mat. And then inhale, lift our chest into a baby cobra. You have the option for the up dog. And then we come back to our downward facing dog, exhaling again. Let's keep moving. Inhale, forward roll. Option to stay off the knees. Exhale down toward the mat, chaturanga. Inhale, lifting, opening through heart center into our up dog. And back with that exhale to down. Beautiful. Let's keep the breath flowing as we go through that about 4 more times. Taking your choices as you need them. time with me if you'd like. Rolling forward. Got my heart rate up. How about you? And then back to downward dog. Whew, good morning. Nice job. All right. Let's go ahead and come onto our knees. Separate them slightly. And we're just going to push back into a child's pose. Let your hips come back. Reaching forward. You're going to feel that nice stretch through the chest and the back. Letting those glutes release, those hips. And then let's lift slightly and take our back arm and lace it underneath that front arm, palm up. And let's lay back down on that shoulder. So feeling a little release through the chest and the upper back. Especially if you just did chaturanga on your toes, coming down toward the floor. It's a little workout there. Let's lift back up, and we're going to go the other way. So threading the needle through the back arm, laying down on that shoulder. Let's come back to center. I'm just going to do one last exercise for some core strength here. So I want you to come back into your horse, and we're going to reach our front arm and our back leg out and away. Now, if this is too much, you can just do the front arm, you can just do the leg, or you can just come a little bit lower so that you are there for balance if you need it. But we're trying to bring the arm and the leg parallel to the torso. Or right in line with the torso, I should say. We want our arm and leg parallel to the floor. And then for a little bit more, if you can open the arm and the leg away at a 45-degree angle. Reach that energy out. Hold it just for a few more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Come slowly back to center. And then release your hand and your knee to the floor. Quick release to child's pose. And we're going to come right back up on the other side. This time the back arm and the front leg extend. Find your position. Brace your core hard. This is balancing the sides, making them work together. When we have that imbalance, that's when we start to find injuries and tension. Our muscles start to compensate for one another, and we want them to work together.
What's your upside? Yeah, what's your upside if you get 25?
If you want more, take that choice to open up. 45-degree angle. I have a chair in my way.
If you're not there, maybe there's less probability that they get the 25.
And hold for 3, 2, 1. Back through center. Gently to the ground. Bring your knees down and release. Great job. Reaching forward. Exhale the breath. Just letting everything go here.
Okay. So you can't even cash out. It's only you can cash out your equity.
And then we're going to move into just a brief Savasana. So in your own time, go ahead and take your way back to our mat, rolling onto your back. What a beautiful start to the weekend. We found a little warmth, hopefully a lot of stretching, and we got to stay on the ground to do it. We don't always do that. So find your position, your relaxation pose. Knees can knock together, feet can extend, hands at your side. Maybe you roll into a ball. You find what's comfortable for you, putting your shirt back on. And let's just take a moment to celebrate ourselves, the work, the day. It's just a moment of celebration and peace. So let's take that as we start to calm the heart rate.
$1 billion in revenue a year. Is that just like what is your upside look like in that scenario? That's like the best suit. Is that for life? I mean, obviously, or
And as you feel that breath coming in and out of your body, just remind yourself of its healing power. Let the breath just wash over those points of tension or pain. And let the breath slowly help your body to relax and melt into your mat.
yeah. And that's not. I mean, for the risk that you're taking and the chance of this all panning out perfectly, that's not that big of a reward, I would say. Like, you know.
And then let's slowly find our movement back in our body, wiggling our toes or tightening and relaxing those muscles. We're going to make our way back to a seated position by bringing our knees into our chest, letting them fall to one side, and then slowly rolling back up onto our mat, into our seated position. All right, well, I am ready to move and to walk, maybe run right into the weekend. I hope you are too. I am Alana, and I'm so glad you joined me today. The light in me honors the light in you. Thank you so much.